In today's tutorial, let's learn how to do the pebbled textured hat. It's available in 3 sizes, all the way from 2 to 4 years of age, just like so. You also have the 8 to 10 years of age, and then we have adult. The video title of today's video is indicating which pattern we'll be working with today. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. In today's tutorial we're going to work on the pebbled textured hat. This is adult size version. This is a really great little pattern. You can go relatively quickly on it and I think you'll have a great time doing it. You'll need a size H 5mm size crochet hook today and some Caron 1-pound yarn. So let's review the pattern that we have. In all of the 3 sizes are available in one pattern, and if you're not familiar with reading patterns, this is just a brief overview on how to do so. So you're going to notice that it is fitting 2 to 4 years, 8 to 10, or adult, and you'll notice that there are different colors on the pattern. You can also see here, and it says that there's 1 ball for each one of the sizes, and then also if you're looking at the colors, 1 ball of Caron 1-pound can make 7 2 to 4 size, and it can make 5 8 to 10 years of age size, and then 4 adult size. So when we're going to read the pattern, the rounds 1 all the way to 6 are identical for all of the hats regardless of the size, and then once you get here, see how it does a color change? This is the instructions that we're going to be doing as we go along. So what's gonna happen here is that once we get the 6th round done, this is when the story changes. So the size that we're doing in this tutorial is the one that's listed as the video title. So if you're doing the 2 to 4 at this point, you'll go here and then 8 and then jump all the way to the end and then finish all the hat sizes right here up in the upper corner. So if you're doing the other sizes, it's 8 to 10 years and adult, you'll continue along with this. You'll notice that this says 7 round and that also says 7 round. So if you're getting all the way to 6 and you're doing a bigger size other than 2 to 4, then you just jump down here. Now also for the adults it's 7, but you'll see here for adults you'll continue along and do even more. So that's how you get the different sizes of this pattern. So it's just telling you all the increments in order for getting this right size for the width of the growth. They all finish off the same way of just doing all the way down over here, and then it becomes really quite easy in order to master. So you can also do the pom-pom that's on there, or you can put a pre-made pom-pom. Bernat has really cool really huge actually pom-poms that are really quite nice. I use them on my own hats, or you can make them yourself and make them really quite customized for yourself. So let's continue with today's tutorial. And finally, before we get started, this is a prototype of the 2 to 4 size. I did it just to make sure I understood the pattern. You can see how nice this looks. Actually I love the texture on this hat. It does a great job with really hiding in those seam lines. You don't even see it. It's great and I really like it. So you can turn it inside out. You can see that there's ridges, and because of that it forms nice pockets of warm air when you're wearing it, and it makes it for a very warm hat. Also really quite an interesting one. So I just have to do a pom-pom or put a pre-made one on this one, but again this is for my donation box and this is what we're going for today. So let's start on the top of the hat and work our way down to through the crown and then all the way to the brim. We're gonna start off with a slip knot and using a 5mm size H crochet hook today. We're going to begin by chaining 2. So 1 and 2, and what we're going to do is in the first chain, the very first one, we're going to put in 6 single crochets into that first one. So 1 2 and 3. And what I want you to do as you're running over the straggler, put it down on top so it gets caught underneath. So we have 4 5 and 6. So now we have to slip stitch it to the beginning single crochet. So how do you know which one it is if you're confused? Just look back and count back. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 right there. So just count back to the 6th one and you'll get it perfect every time. Just yarn over and pull through and through, and that forms the top of your center of your hat. Let's move along to round number 2. Round number 2 is very unusual. I've never ever seen this done in a hat before, but you know what, new things, old dog, new tricks. Anything is possible. We're gonna chain up 3 right now, 1 2 and 3, and in this pattern every time we chain up 3 in a round it counts as a double crochet. It's important to remember that because that'll be a factor later. So coming into the same stitch where you joined, and I want you to put in 2 more double crochets. Okay, so every one of the remaining 5 stitches that you have left are each gonna have 3 double crochets in there. So 1 2 and 3. So I've never had a hat start off like this, so it's kind of neat. It's a new kind of concept for myself, at least. It may be old thing. So every stitch is gonna get 3 double crochets into it, and it'll expand that circle really quite quickly and really quite nicely as well. Okay, so 3 double crochets in each, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and I need to count how many groups of 3 I have. There should be a total of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you know that you're done. You're just gonna slip stitch it to the top of the beginning chain 3. It's important that you keep it. So you notice how open it was, and then I just closed it. It's kind of cool. Let's move along to round number 3. Round number 3, again, very easy. We're gonna chain up 1, and in the same join stitch we want to put in 2 single crochets, and then the next 2 double crochets are going to be 1 single crochet each. So here's the repeat pattern for this whole entire round. The next one is gonna be 2 single crochets, and then the next 2 stitches are 1 single crochet each. Okay, so continue that same patterning going all the way around. So the next one is 2 into the same one, and then the next 2 are 1 single crochet each. Please do that all the way around. As you come up all the way around, the final 3 stitches, if you're keeping this pattern correct, you had 2 in the same and then 2 individual, that you'll end up with the right configuration at the end. So this one there's 2, and then the last 2 are gonna be 1 by themselves. Okay, so it keeps the pattern consistent, and then you just join it to the beginning single crochet that you started with to conclude that. Okay, so you really are looking for the consistency of the pattern. Let's move along to round number 4. Round number 4 is a little unusual, so just bear with me and just follow along. So you're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and we're gonna come into the very next stitch, okay, right here, not the same one that's in the join, but the very next one, and you're gonna put in 2 double crochets. So the repeat pattern on this particular round, and what makes it unusual, is that the next 2 are gonna be a double crochet each, and then it goes back down, and the next one is gonna be 2 double crochets into the same one. So 1 and 2. And why this is unusual for myself is that it's rare for me to ever see a crochet stand alone. Usually it's always a double that's right in the beginning. So in the end of this, what's gonna happen is that the stitch before will be 1 by itself, and then the stitch before that will be 2 into the same one. It just helps you give perspective and clarity for those that are concerned that it's not gonna work out. It does. Okay, so the repeat pattern on this one is 2 into the same one, and then the next 2 are by themselves for double crochets, and that is round number 4. So do that all the way around. I'll see you at the end. So coming up all the way around, the next one, there's 2 in the same one, and as I promised, and I know that I'm right because I've already done a prototype, the final stitch here is just 1 by itself in order to keep count, because the next one is 1 and then it goes back to 2. So I know that it's right. So I want to join this to the top at the beginning, chain 3, to conclude that round. So that was round number 4. So now the story is going to change, and now we're starting to get the pebble look, and that's coming up in round number 5. In round number 5 we're gonna start getting that really fancy footwork, and it's abbreviation called DCFP. That's double crochet front post, so no big deal. And then the other one is CRDCFP and that's a cross double crochet front post. And so we're going to be doing this particular idea going all the way around. The words are bigger than really the reality of the work. So let's begin. We're gonna chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and coming down I want you to follow it down. Okay, skip this one and go to the next one, and we're gonna do a front post double crochet. So double crochet front post. So wrap the hook going around the post and pop it out the other side. Pull through 2 and 2. Okay, so now we're going to come back and we're gonna get the one that we jumped over. So we're gonna wrap the hook and come into the one before it, go around as a front post, pull through 2 and 2. So there you have a double crochet that has a cross in it. Okay, it's crossing over. So in this particular row, what we have to do, or round, we have to put a double crochet right in the space before the next post. So you see that these two are now the front posts, so I want to put it right in the space there, so a double crochet before I do another crossover. So let's do a crossover again. So we're gonna skip the first one, go to the second, wrap the hook going into the front post, pull through pull through 2 and 2 to finish that stitch. Now go to the one that you skipped. So wrap the hook, the one you skipped, pull through 2 and 2. That's done. So now the next double crochet is right in between the space before the next one, before you start your next crossover. Okay, so let's do this front post crossover again. So just cross over, so wrap the hook and go to the second one, pull through 2 and 2, go to the one you skipped, and then finish it off by going into the space before the next set that you're gonna cross over. So let's review that one more time. So crossing or yarning over, going to the one next over. Okay, so you skipped one, go to the one you just skipped, and now double crochet into the space before you cross over once again. Please do that all the way around. So I'm coming up all the way around and I want to finish this off. Now what I did wrong on the prototype is about what I'm about to show you not to do. So if you're doing this right, you're gonna have 2 final posts that are left and you can do your crossover. And what I did in the prototype is that after I finished the crossover is that I still put in another double crochet in the space, but think about it, this chaining of 3 counted as the double crochet, so I just have to join it after I get my last crossover done. Okay, so that is that one there. So I had actually put another one there, so my next round I was off by 1 stitch and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what was wrong, and now I figured it out actually last night. So let's move on to round number 6. Round number 6, very easy round. We're just gonna chain up 3 and it's just 1 double crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. So we come to the very next stitch that's available to you and into every stitch of just 1 double crochet into every stitch going around. So we're not actually increasing at all. I think what we're doing in this particular point based on what I've done with the prototype is that we're giving the hat time to expand naturally. So just by putting in 1 double crochet into each, it allows it to do so. So let's finish off then round number 6. So I'll meet you back here in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way back around. Remember that the final crossover was the final, because in the end of the last one, remember that that one that's supposed to be in the space is that chain 3. So just join it with the top of the beginning chain 3. So that concludes off to round number 6. So let's just quickly review and then let's move along. So in preparation of this tutorial, all of the 3 hats are identical now from rounds 1 through 6. Now the story is going to change as we convert it to the size that we're doing. The title of this video is indicating what size that we're gonna work on next. But this is exactly what we're doing, and so it's just really easy to make these. I'm actually quite enjoyed them. I actually made these into pot holders too. I like the concept of the pebbling look. Let's move along to the next part of this tutorial. So carrying on with the adult size version, we want to take a look at the pattern, and we can see that the adult size shares the same round as the child size of 8 to 10 years of age. So what we want to do is start the 7th round, and we're going to begin by chaining up 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and what we want to do is that we look straight down and we come down and we do our crossovers like we've done before. Now here's the thing with this particular round, it's slightly different than what we're used to with this particular one. So we need to do these crossovers, and we need to have 2 crossovers in a row. So 1 and 2 and then 1 and 2 again. Okay, and then we put the double crochet into the space, and we continue to do that all the way around until we get to the final 8 stitches where the story changes. So let's begin to do this repeat pattern. So the next, we're gonna do a crossover in the next one. Okay, and come back. And now this time, because there's 2 in a row, we do a double crochet into the space. So the repeat patterning, okay, is 2 crossovers in a row. Okay, so that's 1, and then do it again. And then a double crochet into the space. Okay, so continue to do that until you get to the last 8, and then I'll meet you back up there because the storyline changes on the final 8. So coming along to the last 8 stitches here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So what's gonna happen in this particular one is that we're gonna add an extra stitches in between all of the crossovers. So we're gonna begin to do the crossover for 1. Okay, and then we're gonna put in a double crochet into the space, the next space available to you. Then a crossover again, and then another double crochet into the next space that's available to you. and then a crossover again, okay, and then a double crochet in the next space, and then finally another final crossover with a double crochet in the final space. So this is a way that it's gaining in size. Okay, so now you're gonna slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3. Okay, so you got a lot of increasing right in the very end of this. Let's move along to the next round for this adult hat. In round number 8, very straightforward, we're gonna chain up 3 and then we're just gonna do 1 double crochet in each of the crochets all the way around. So in this one, and you're gonna notice this in this entire pattern that you're gonna go out through, that every other round going forward is just gonna be double crochet, just standard, until we get to the edging by your forehead. So let's just continue to do that. So 1 double crochet in each stitch going all the way around. Coming all the way now around and just 1 double crochet into each and then just joining it to the top of the beginning chain 3. Let's move along to round number 9. Round number 9 only exists in the adult size and we're going to do another increase in order to make it adult size. Let's begin to do that next. So the adult size is not too much bigger than the child size version of 8 to 10 years of age. You know, our heads don't really get too much bigger after that age, but it is slightly bigger. So we're gonna chain a 3 to begin and we're gonna do a crossover and we're gonna just go straight down, skip to the next one over, and we're gonna do a crossover of 5 times in a row. Okay, and we're just gonna continue to do the crossovers like you know it. So this is number 2. And then number 3 crossover. Let's try that one again. That was number 3. And then number 4. And 5. So we only want a 5 in a row. And then what we need to do the increase to make it slightly bigger is that now that you got your 5, you're gonna put 1 double crochet in the space between. So the repeat pattern on this one entire round is 5 in a row and then a double crochet into the space and then 5 in a row, double crochet in the space in between, and you're gonna get to the last 2 double crochets where there'll be a cross cross front post double crochet as well. So let's begin to do that and just continue that same configuration going all the way around. And as I said, you come to the final 2 stitches. I've just got to put my double crochet in the space because it keeps in alignment. So there's 5, a double crochet in the space, and it leaves me with 2, and that's why it says to do a crossover in the final 2, because that's what you have to do. And it's only because of that 1 double crochet space right there because of that. So let's just join it to the beginning of the top of the chain 3. So let's move along in the instructions. It's now time to look at the other instruction for doing the body part of the hat. So just continuing to do double crochet all the way around. It's now time to, and just join to the top of the beginning chain 3. So now it's time to begin looking at this pattern. So this is the top area. We're now gonna do the body, and now it's time to flip the page of the pattern. Let's go through that next. So in the pattern we've just finished off this section here, rounds 9 and 10, and now it's time to flip the page and go to all rounds on the top of the next page. So what we need to do is that we need to repeat 1 and 2 over and over and over until we get 7 inches from the top of the hat to where it will end. And these 12.5, 16.5, and 18 are in centimeters, just in case you're wondering. So what's gonna happen here, there's another version, is that the distance from the top of here to the last round 2 of the edging should be 7 inches, and then the remaining edges is done then afterward. So let's work on that. So I'm gonna show you repeat rounds number 1 and 2, and then I'm gonna leave it for you to get your 7 inches and then return back when we're gonna do the edging together. So let's begin all sizes. Round number 1. It's gonna start off the same way each and every time, is just chaining 3 and just looking down. We just want to just do a crossover. So we're gonna do crossovers completely all the way around. There's not gonna be any double crochets in any of the spaces at a certain point like it is here or when we did it right in the very beginning. So every stitch around is going to be a crossover, or I guess every group of 2. Okay, so please do that for round number 1 of your all sizes, and then we're gonna come back and then do round 2, and then you're gonna repeat this round over as well as round number 2 over and over and over until you get the 7 inches that you need in order to make this pattern work. So I'll be back in just a bit. So you're going to cross over each and every final one going all the way around, and then we're going to join it to the top of the chain 3. So this was round number 1 of doing the edging of all sizes. So now to begin round number 2, you're just gonna simply chain up 1 and then just double crochet into each one of the stitches going all the way around. So what I want you to do is that I want you to repeat rounds 1 and 2 and grab your tape measure and fold your hat in half, and we have to get a certain amount. So we have to get a total of 7 inches. Okay, so right, see where my thumb is? That's 7 inches. So we have to get there. It doesn't take too long. It will take you a while, but it doesn't take too long to get there. And then I'll meet you back there and we'll start doing this together. So every time, so you're gonna just do double crochet in every stitch around, then you're just gonna join it with a slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3, and then just repeat the last round again and continue to do rounds 1 and 2, 1 and 2 for all sizes until you get to your 7-inch mark. And I'll see you back here in just a moment. Now last time I left you, we were doing rounds of all sizes of rounds 1 and 2, and we kept repeating. I have to say that I did this really quickly. I was more surprised about this one in comparison to the 8 to 10 years of age. So my goal is that I was looking for 7 inches, and so when I put my ruler down, you can see it's 7 inches. So now it's time to do the edging, and it's only 4 rows and it's really quite easy. So let's learn how to do the edging next. So let's begin to do the edging, and if you look at the pattern you just have to go down on it, and there's 4 rounds. So in the first round what we're going to do is that we're going to make the hat so it has more of a snug fit to it. So we're gonna reduce some stitches while we're doing the first round. So let's begin. We're gonna chain up 1 and then 1 single crochet right into the first one that you did the join. Now look at the instructions here. It says 1 single crochet in the next 15 stitches, and then after that there's gonna be 2 together, and then we're gonna do another 15 again and then 2 together. So let's count these out together. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, and 15. So now that you have your 15 done, the next 2 will be together. So just insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, pull through all 3, and those 2 just became 1. So you repeat pattern for the remainder of this revolution except for the final stitch that we're gonna talk about at the end, and it should work out anyway, but we'll get there and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. You're gonna go 15 stitches in a row of single crochets and then 2 together. 15 stitches in a row and 2 together. So please do that and I'll meet you at the end of this revolution. So I've come up all the way around. I only have 2 stitches left, and those are going to be 2 together because I'm keeping in count with my 15 in a row and then 2 together. So it just happens to be the last 2 stitches, which means that I'm right, because if you look at the pattern it said that there is 0 stitches left at the end. Let's just join to the beginning single crochet with the slip stitch, and let's move on to round number 2 of doing the edging. Let's move along to round number 2. We're gonna turn our work. Yes, turn this hat around. It's kind of unusual, but bear with me, it does work. You're gonna chain 1 and you're going to go into a back loop for a single crochet. Now you will see in stitches, if you're new to crochet, is that there's always 2 strands that make up 1 stitch. Now if you go into the strand that's closest to you, this is the front loop. If you go into the strand that is furthest away from you, it is the back loop, and together they make up what is called a stitch. So what I want you to do is that I want you to insert your hook into a back loop only and single crochet all the way around using the back loops only, and this will give a ridge look on your hat. And if you look at the model's photo, you can actually see this ridge happening on the brim of the hat around the forehead area. So please, for round number 2 you are going to do back loop single crochet all the way around on this hat, and I'll meet you back here at the end of this round and we'll start up round number 3 together. So I'm coming up all the way around and we are continuing to do single crochets in the back loop only. Continue to do that all the way around and then just join it to the beginning single crochet. Let's begin round number 3. We're gonna turn our work again, and we are going to do exactly the same thing. So chain up 1 first, and then in the back loops only just do another single crochet all the way around, and meet me back here, and we only have 1 more round to go. That's right, you're almost done your hat. So meet me back here in just a moment and then we'll continue with round number 4, and then I'll show you how to hide in your ends too. We'll see you in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way around, just single crochet, continuing into the back loop only, and then just join it to the beginning single crochet. This is your final round. We're just going to join it, turn our work one last time, and you're simply going to chain up one, and the final round is again back loops single crochet. So continue to do that around, and when I come back I'm gonna finish this off, show you how to do that, and then I'm gonna show you how to weave in your tails so that you never have a loose end hanging out. If you're gifting this out to charity, nothing's worse than giving it to somebody that a tail is falling out. You know, they may be in distress or in need at the time that they're receiving your gift, so the last thing they need to worry about is tails. So let me show you how to do that in just a moment. So I'll meet you at the end of this revolution. So in just finishing up this final revolution, this is it for you, and now it's time to finish it off. So just join it with the beginning single crochet, and let's learn how to finish this off so you have no tails. So cut your strand about 12 inches, and I want you to pull the strand through the loop like so. Yes, you got it. And now you put that strand in a darning needle. So just grab a nice sharp darning needle, don't prick yourself with it, and just feed that strand onto the needle. Now your work can never fall out if you're always weaving it in 3 different directions at the same time. Okay, so here's how you do it. So take the needle and just slide it underneath your work, not on the top of the brim because people will be looking at that, and just to go about 1 inch right inside the fibers itself in one direction. Pull through, don't over pull it, just give it a little bit of slack, and then go back in the same direction from which you just came, but through a different path of fibers so that it catches underneath into the fibers. Okay, so that was number 2 that it's going across, and now just slide it back once again a 3rd time in the other direction, and you can safely then trim your tail right down to the project. It'll never fall out of your work, and then what you just need to do is go back to where you started on the inside on the top here, right where you started, and just trim that off, and now this hat is good to give, whether it's for charity or even for yourself. So this is how you do the adult size version of the Pebbled texture hat. It's a great little hat. It doesn't take too long to do. It's got a lot of variation to it, and it's very easy to follow. You can actually sit and chat while you're doing it too. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. Have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon. Until next time.